Hey guys, this is the Victorinox Hunter Pro. This is not my knife. I sharpen knives for friends, and every once in a while somebody will ask me to sharpen a knife that I am actually curious about, so it works out fairly well. I have been looking at this knife. You can get it in black handles or wooden handles. This one has this rubberized material and the blaze orange handles. This is a knife meant for hunting, and my friend is going to use it for general camping chores. So I sharpened it for him, not really for me, for what I would use a knife for. I put a steeper edge angle on it so that it would last longer and still do a decent job. I have been cutting a bit of wood with it, and honestly it does a good enough job. About 25 degrees per side. A bit steeper than most of my knives, but you can really pull it off. I have a knot here, so I have to admit I like the feel in hand. So what I'm going to do today, I'm just going to use it for general camp chores. Mostly making food. That's what he said he was going to use it. And I think with a 25 degree per side edge angle, you could also use this as a hunting knife very well, and it would do a good job. As for the thickness of the handle, which was one of the most interesting aspects for me about this knife, it does feel very, very good in hand. The lock is very stable. You really have to depress it so you release the blade. I don't think you could do that by accident, and you can open this one one-handed. It does come in a sheath, no clip, no lanyard hole, which I think is nice. Now, it does also come at a price. This right here, this one will cost you about 60 euros. So that's why I'm a bit shy about getting myself one. But after maybe working with this for half a day, who knows, I might pull the trigger, I don't know. I thought I would show this to you and show you a few general tasks. Feels very good in hand, with or without gloves. Maybe better with without gloves, because this material really has good grip on it. Does not want to slide out of your hand, and the same is true if you're wearing gloves, because of these little grooves. I think I just made a few cuts to see with and without gloves, and so far so good. All right. So I have been playing around with the Hunter Pro. I removed some bark, I made some shavings, I got mostly rotten wood for my fire. I mean rotten, partially rotten. And this piece is partially rotten, but it is very dry, and you can make some shavings. If you were to split this or just work the corners, you could get some nice shave. I don't care about the shavings right now. I'm gonna light my fire with cotton and Vaseline. I'm gonna use that as tinder, and that burns for a long time. But I will also add these. What I really care about right now is comfort in hand, and it is comfortable. Of course, it's comfortable. I have the almost the opposite, the Endura, which has a 20° per side edge angle, so a bit lower than that one, and making wood shavings with this is much more pleasant. It takes less effort, however it's not as comfortable in hand. This is not so much Victorinox Spyderco commentary as it is an edge angle commentary. You can get a deeper bite, just get those nice shavings. That would help you if you make a fire. But if I were to make wood shavings with this one, I would actually prefer a glove. And I have used this one with a glove, both actually. The Endura becomes very bearable, and this one still stays well in hand and does a good job, so it does not slip out of your hand. However, if you keep this edge angle 25° per side, and you would want to use this as a general camp utility knife, whatever you would call that, I do recommend a smaller edge angle, because if you get into harder woods, let's say you find a nice dry piece of beech or oak, making feather sticks might not be as easy, or shavings, as it was with this one. So even if it is very comfortable, it does tend to want to jump, just go out of the cut when it encounters hardwood. But that's not a Hunter Pro commentary, it's an edge angle commentary. A lot of people have been asking me what the best grind or best edge angle is for certain things, and I keep saying it's up to you. However you want to work with them. If somebody is a beginner and would like to make a fire with just wood shavings, I would recommend a steeper edge angle, something like 25-30° per side. That way you won't get so much bite. Find yourself some softer wood like hazel. Pine is great, and you can get some nice wood shavings with even a steeper edge angle. So it all depends on you. You know, not and how you want to adapt the tool. This one came with about a 25-30° per side edge angle, so if you were to get the knife and start working with it, I think as a hunting knife it would do a good job. As a general camp knife, yes, but as soon as you go into the bushcrafting where you want to carve, whittle, and make feather sticks with it, I think you would need to reduce the edge angle if you want to expend less energy on it. However, the knife handle is comfortable. What I did surprise myself doing was always wanting to choke up on it, and my finger would always come in this position. Not as comfortable, but not completely uncomfortable. If I do it like this, somehow I feel like I don't have the control that I want to have. But like I I said, this is the first time I work with this knife, and the last time I'll work with this knife. I'll just clean it up and clean up the edge and give it back to my friend. But yeah, even now talking, instinctively I moved up. So my finger is not here where it was supposed to be, it was here. Just to be able to get a bit more control when cutting wood shavings. It's a common thing that you tend to want to choke up on the knife. And that's when some knives become more comfortable than others. For example, if I were to do the same thing with an Opinel that just has such a thin grind, a small edge angle, and the blade is right here, handle is, well, relatively the same shape, so you would not need to actually choke up where your finger is above the cutting edge. But no discomfort in hand, some weight there, and I have to say I like it. Not crazy about the color, I like the black model more, but I do like the grippiness of the handle, and even with gloves, good stuff. I like it. Don't know if I'm prepared to pay about 60-70 euros for it. So I might just be lucky and find one that's used. I worked about 2 hours with the Victorinox Hunter Pro. And before I talk about the knife, I'd like to tell you a few things about the sheath. Because this is not my knife. And because it is not my knife, I didn't do a few things that I wanted to do with the knife. I kept it very civilized, let's call it. And I also did not carry the knife with the pouch on my belt. Now, the chances of it falling off my belt are slim to none. However, because you can get this on your belt without removing your belt, they have to put a system here that keeps this loop closed, and they used Velcro, and only Velcro. If I would have a choice, I would use Velcro and a button snap. If I couldn't have both, I would just go for the button snap. They went for the Velcro, and I don't really trust Velcro. However, this would be pressed to your side, so the chances of it falling are slim to none. Also, one thing I would like to say about the sheath is, from other videos and from pictures, I didn't really see that it was so thin. It seems pretty flimsy. Now that's not a negative, it's just something that I didn't notice. I'm sure this will hold out over the long run. Something I really like is this cordage right here. If you're in winter, and it's about as cold as it is right now, you might want to use gloves. And if you use heavy gloves, this cordage will really help you to open the pouch. Very well thought out. I like it. Now, about the knife. I've held this knife, this model, in my hand before. And the first thing I do, I open the knife and I squeeze it in my hand. And it feels very well. It feels very stable. Now, not all knives have that feeling, that stable feeling and that comfortable feeling. Now, of course, these ridges here are going to be uncomfortable, but this rubberized material is really soft and they won't bother you. You could say, yes, okay, I feel them. You would feel any. But this is a folder, and as such, I think it's the most comfortable folder that I have worked with so far. The locking mechanism is really sturdy and really gives you, once more, that stable feeling. I don't think you could accidentally disengage this. I think the closing this knife is best done with 2 hands. It does not have that snap like some other Victorinox knives. Actually, it's pretty slow going, and I think that's good. I would hate to have a blade that just snaps closed. I don't like that. This one, very, very good closing action, and you can do it with 2 hands, no chance of you injuring yourself. Opening the blade can be done with 1 hand, and this is a bigger folder, so it takes some getting used to. And this rubberized material on the handle really does an excellent job. It's not as cold as some of my G10s are when it's this cold outside, and it does offer grip. I used it with and without gloves. In both cases, I caught myself moving up on the blade to have more control while doing power cuts and cutting feather sticks or wood shavings. But you need to also consider the fact that this is not a woodworking knife, this is a hunting knife, and if you just hold it like this, it really locks your hand in place, and it's a secure grip. With gloves, it does the same thing. I chopped a few small branches and a few knots, and with gloves, at no point did I have the feeling that this was going to fly out of my hand. And that is also because of these finger grooves. Very well made. I would call them decent, because they don't bother you, and yet they do what they're supposed to do. I enjoyed working with this knife. The only thing I didn't like was the edge angle. Now, since this is not my knife, I put on about a 25-degree per side edge angle, which is what its owner wanted. For me, I would put a smaller edge angle on it so that I would have to apply less force when I'm cutting something. It is a very comfortable handle, and if you would have to use even less force, it would become even better. But like I said, I think that is the only thing I would do to it. I like the sharpening choil that it has. It does help with sharpening. Only thing you don't want to do is close the knife like this, one-handed, where you release the lock and just swing the blade, because it will cut you. I know, because it happened to me. Very well built, very comfortable to work with. I do not know if I would pay 65 euros for it. That's how much I would have to pay for it right here. But I think if you're looking for a folder, a hunting folder, all-around camping chores folder, this is a good choice. Definitely a good choice. Now, I imagine you could wash this in your kitchen sink. I don't know how you would open this and clean it out thoroughly, but then again, I don't really think you need to. You could probably just put it in the dishwasher and it'll take care of itself. Pretty cool knife. And even though the sheath is not what I would want, I think it does an excellent job. A lanyard hole would not be a bad idea. I'm not a huge fan of lanyard holes because I do not put lanyards on my pocket knives. However, when you don't have a pocket clip, a lanyard hole is not a bad idea. But overall, I like it. I'm still considering getting myself a knife like this, although I think I would get it in with the black handle. So I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions about the knife, just ask me in the comment section. I'll get to them as soon as possible. I'd like to thank you for watching, and as always, I wish you all a great day.